Hey guys, today I'm going to do a walkthrough video of the Nigel Hendroff Ambient guitars for MainStage. So there's already a WAV version up on Multitracks as well as an M4A version for those that want to import it onto their iPad, iPhone, smartphone, any playback device. But this video is specifically for those that want the Nigel Hendroff Ambient guitars in a MainStage format. So yeah, that's what this video is about. So just to recap what we did and how we recorded it, I got together with Nigel just before Hillsong Conference, and we actually recorded his live ambient shimmer kind of tone that he uses quite a lot on Sundays, on tour, on albums, that kind of thing. He mainly uses it as a way to transition between different keys. He uses it as an ambient kind of pad, more on mellow sections of songs. So that's what we did. We recorded 3 main versions for every single key, and then I created additional shimmer effects. So for example, the low one that you see here is Nigel Hendroff's raw shimmer reverb sound in the lowest possible position. The low sky is a derivative of that. I kind of took that recording and put it through my big sky and EQ'd a little bit to create an additional shimmer reverb. I did the same kind of thing with my lexicon reverb. Mid is the same thing as the low, but in the mid position. Obviously this is the mid with the big sky, this is the mid with the lexicon, and this is the highest position on the guitar fretboard. High with big sky, obviously, and high with lexicon. So that's what all of these are. They're 1-minute recordings of Nigel, and then I've looped and crossfaded them in the ESX24 player, so they will go indefinitely until you push the stop button up here. If you don't want such a crazy version with the flexibility of volumes for every single one, there's a cut down version here, and that's just a mixture. Well, that's a mix of all of these. I did do like a custom mix and EQ'd it a little bit further and created what I thought was the best mix of all of those. So that's what that mix version is. But I'm going to show you it in the full version in case you want to use that. So resource-wise, it doesn't actually take up a lot of resource because each one of these ESX24 players is only playing one note at any one time. It's not like a piano sample that you're playing 5, 10, 15, 20 notes at any one time with multiple velocity layers and release samples. It's just playing one audio file at a time, so it doesn't take up much CPU at all using this. But if you've got like a 50-year-old computer and you're concerned that it's going to, that's why I've created the mix version. So it's just one ESX24 player playing one sample at a time. Okay, I'll quickly go through and explain all these controls. Some of them you probably can already guess just by looking at the template, but every one of these is obviously every key. So you hit C, it starts with shimmer in C, C sharp, D. We left the third out of every chord, so it works as well on major and minor keys. We kind of just wanted to record exactly what Nigel does when he uses this kind of effect live, so that's what we did. Stop stops it. This is kind of a 3-band EQ, but I've designed it in such a way that it cuts rather than allows you to boost. So this will take out the low end, this is cutting out the mids, and this is taking out the highs, as you would with a low pass filter on pads and stuff. If you've seen other blog videos, I like to do that a lot. This adds additional shimmer, but like anything in MainStage, you can go to this and you can change that shimmer to be whatever you want. You could change it to another preset in here, or you could add your own third-party shimmer plugin in there. It's just nice to add or have the option to add more shimmer to these reverbs. So this bottom layer is obviously mapped to volume sliders for all of these, so you can create your own custom mix on the fly. This is the master volume just for the shimmer, Nigel's shimmer stuff, and this is obviously a master for everything, including whatever pads or pianos or sounds that you want to put into this MainStage template. So there's kind of 2 ways you could use it. You could import all your own sounds into this one and keep this set up just like it is, or you could export these into whatever MainStage template you're using. If you want to export these into a pre-existing template, I'd suggest just checking out importing and exporting MainStage patches. That way I don't have to go through and explain that again in this video, because I've already done it in this, and it's pretty simple to do, but check out that video if you want to do that. Or like for this example, I'm just going to add a few pads, pianos, whatever, into this template and show you how to do it that way. Okay, let's just add in an instrument. Go down here, a pad, let's add another pad in here, let's add a piano. Oh, whoops, let's go and put that pad back in. Okay, so I've got 2 pads in here and a piano. You'll notice this little symbol coming up. That just means that I've actually blocked it. The reason why I block it is because if you do hit one of these, it sends a very, very low C. So C -2, I think the actual C note is, and it's lower than a 88 note keyboard. So it's out of range of your 88 note keyboard if you're using one, or 61 note keyboard. But just as a safety, I like to block it just in case your samples that you're playing do go down that low and it does trigger a note. Everything in this template is assignable to sliders in the layout area. Whoops. The only thing that's not assignable is these C to B notes and the stop. That's because it's actually sending notes, MIDI notes, to the ESX24 player. But it works really good because all you do is you go to the top, you hit whichever one you want, and you just play whatever you want as that goes, and you can choose whatever pad, sound, or imported patch, and you can fade in and out the shimmer pads, and it's going to go indefinitely. So you could even start a pad, play something, let's say between song 3 and 4 you only want to bring in the shimmer, then just bring up the volume. So I'll show you practically how to do that. So I'm just going to use just the mid sky for this example. So I'm just going to bring down all the volumes of these and show you just one kind of way you could use it. So I'm just going to start it and then play a piano to it. Now I can change the sound on the fly, bring in a pad, bring up the volume of the shimmer. Add some extra shimmer. And then fade it out when I don't want it there anymore. I could set it up to do G now. Now it's playing in the background even though you don't hear it. And then whenever I want that to come in, I just fade it in. And then fade it out. So that's the way I've set up the template. That's the way that I think it works best. You can muck around with it. You can do whatever you want. You can change up this template completely if you have other ideas. If you want, you can create custom mixes and multiple versions of this. So what you could do if you wanted to, let's go here, duplicate it, Command D. And let's say you want a more low heavy version for another song, so you could bring in some of the low end and maybe some of the lexicon, EQ it a little bit, and then go to your performance and have that for a different song and then fade it in. You don't actually have to fade it in. They naturally fade in. So if I show you this, it has a nice natural fade in. And then, yeah, like I said before, it's just going to go infinitely until you push the stop button or until you push another key, and it'll change to that. And it fades in the A. So that pretty much wraps up the walkthrough video. And before I go, I should just mention that those pads and the piano that I added into this template, they don't come with this template, but you could use this template with whatever pads or patches or third-party plugins that you own. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.